Now, I recently had some renovation done at my home and I was talking to the contractor about his website. And from that I gathered that there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to designing a service industry website, be that a handyman, cleaner or plumber. So in this video, I'll share 5 industry tips that are a must-have on every service business website. Hello internet people, my name is Robert and I'm here to help you build a service industry website that stands out from the competition and brings in the new customers. So let's get started with the first tip, and it's so obvious and simple to add, but a lot of websites in the service industry completely miss out. So let me show you what I mean. Now imagine you need a plumber and you have an emergency. You want to call them right away and you come here, you see contact info, and then you try to tap on the number, but it's just a link. It just tries to open that number. Actually, it just jumps somewhere else. Now, if you're in an emergency, you want to quickly call, that's just too long. You need to copy that phone number and then paste it in your phone application or whatever. It's just too complicated. Instead, what you can do is something like this. Like on this website, right on the homepage, when I tap on the phone number, you can see that the phone is asking, hey, you want to call this number? And it's so easy to do because all you have to do is put TEL and then colon and then your phone number. So tel, colon, and your phone number. That's so easy. And that way, if somebody clicks on your phone number, they can directly call from their phone. I think a lot of people make it too complicated when it comes to the second tip. Most have this on their website, but it's just not clear enough. Let's do a quick experiment. I'm going to show you a website for 5 seconds, and then I'll ask a few questions. So what was this website about? And what is the main element you can recall from it? I asked my girlfriend to do the same experiment and here's what she said. This website is some sort of a repair service in the Bay Area, and she noticed the get a quote button and the big image of the repairman. Now your answer may vary a little bit, but this is really a well-designed website because we don't live in the US, so the Bay Area is not familiar to us, and also garage repair is really niche service. But despite that, it was obvious to her what to expect from the website. Now, creating text for your value proposition is a science by itself, but just make sure it's clear somewhere at the top of your homepage what you do, where you do it, and the action you want the person to do. So be that calling you, booking an appointment, or getting a quote, and so on. Now, if we take a look at the website we just saw for 5 seconds, what they do great here is they also have this #1 rated garage door company in South Bay Area. So they backed up claim by having this text, over 700 5-star reviews on Google and Yelp, and then they have some benefits here. This is really great structure for any website. It's clearly done by professionals. Now, if you don't have this kind of claims yet, you're new or you just don't have that yet, then keep it simple and don't overdo it. You can put the words like reliable, but if you can't back that up with something, then it's just empty words. So just be clear what you can do and what you can't do. The next tip comes as a surprise to many people, and I think a lot of people overthink this one. If you look at these 2 websites, which one do you think feels more trustworthy? In the first one, you can clearly see the person doing the job, but the website itself doesn't look so professional. Or this second website with polished stock images and a proper website structure. So what do you think? Which one is more trustworthy? If you guessed the first website, then you're totally right. So even though it's less polished and very rough and doesn't follow the proper website structure, it's still very human and relatable. Look here, he even mentions his daughter's favorite toy was a bunny. That's why the logo has a bunny in it as well. So here's another example of how you can use personal images. Here's the guy. I actually tried to hire this guy and he came and gave a quote, but I love that he's already here on website, and then as I go through the website, I can see he's sprinkled around personal images all over the place. And just in general, people prefer having personal images over some polished stock images because it's just more trustworthy. And also, in general, if you're working alone or in a small team, most people want to give money to other small entrepreneurs, not to big corporations. It's just how it is, and you should also utilize that. And this is just from my personal experience as a customer. I love when I see the person or the repairman on the website, and then he comes later to my house and gives me a quote. It's like that moment when you hear the title of a movie in the movie. That just gives me a feeling of trust. Personally, when I'm looking for services and they clearly use stock images, it's a signal to me that maybe they are hiding something. and I'm about to invite this person to my home, I would rather see them before that, right? If you're tired of wasting time trying to build a website by yourself and would rather have something you can be proud of, then check out the links in the video description for my recommendations for website services and courses, especially for the service industry. Now, going back to the previous tip, you don't always have to use personal images, but then you need to make sure that you use the fourth tip to its full potential. Now, let's say you're buying a fish from a local market, and you need to know if the fish is truly fresh. Whose word are you going to trust more? The owner of the fish shop or the customer who have bought from the owner for years already? This is even more prominent online when you don't actually see the owner. And this is how you can boost the trust on your site. So for example, for this business, they have lots of different services. You can see the options here, but how they do with the reviews, they have here a section for reviews. You can see some that they posted on the website, but then if I click on this Yelp banner, it actually goes to Yelp and you can see the reviews there. So you can see here, they're not the best, but 4 stars is good enough. And you can then read about what these guys have done. This gives so much more trust than just reading some reviews on your website. Another example of this is, we already saw this website. You can go to the review section, and here you can see, if you scroll down, that they embedded some Google reviews. Actually, there are from different sources, so you have Google, Yelp, and so on. And if you click on this, this will actually take you to Yelp or Google, and you can read that review there. So this is perfect. This is how you can do it, and this just has that trust factor, because people will go to Google and read them there anyway if you don't give them the easy way to do it themselves. You see why it's essential that you build trust through online reviews, and especially in the beginning, it's crucial that you have reviews on external websites like Google or Yelp. So just adding some quotes to your website is not trustworthy enough. I would use screenshots from actual reviews on Google or Yelp, or just embed them on your site and make sure people can go to Google and read them there. If you want to learn how to embed Google reviews easily to your WordPress website, then click on this banner right here at the top and I'll show you. Now, I feel like the next tip should be pretty obvious to everyone, but I feel also that a lot of people just don't add enough of this. Look, what if you wanted to hire a painter to make a painting of your dog? Yes, Fluffy is very dear to you. You're already established the painter has good reviews, he works in your town and so on. But even in that case, you would probably want to see the previous work of the painter, right? So yes, potential customers do look at your previous work, so put a lot of photos there. Even if they're not the highest quality, it's better to have them there. So let me show you a few good examples. And here's a great example from India, and they've used this slider thing to show before and after images. You can see if I slide it, I can see both of the images fully like this. This is just brilliant. And this same company also has other projects. So if you click in the navigation, you land here, and you can see also they've continued with this theme. So before and after kind of view. The contrast is so big and it looks great what they've done here. They also have other images here just showing before after. Not always, you don't need to always show before and after if you don't have that, but in this case these guys went for that. So you see it goes from very plain to something more luxurious because it's all new and to your taste. I love this. Now you know the essential tips for your website, but without actually implementing them, you won't be able to attract more customers. That's why you should watch this video next if you want to learn how to build a website for service business from scratch.